had the pleasure and the honour of chairing the Yorkshire Universities group that's been overseeing this project. Thank you so much to everyone who's been involved. It's been such an exciting project to have been engaged in. So the aim of this project, and of course the launch here, is the good practice guide for engaging students in sustainability-based learning through a service learning approach. And this really is addressing, I think, a sort of fundamental problem that we all face at the moment in higher education, which is a demand both from our students and, of course, from wider society to ensure that we are educating a set of graduates who have skills in sustainability, but to find ways to do so in the curriculum that is both exciting and stimulating, but also complements their existing learning. So what we've been setting out to do here is to work with staff and students across all 12 universities within Yorkshire Universities, and in doing so developed a really good novel model for a regional network, and I think through that sort of unique regional based shared learning approach. And this has worked so well, I think, at least in part because it's been very focused on employability skills and on enabling engagement by breaking down barriers that students might perceive or feel. And in doing so, one of the things that's been tremendously exciting is the way that it's fostered links between the universities and our students and the Yorkshire and Humber Climate Commission. And thank you very much indeed to those colleagues who've been involved in that, and of course with other non-university partners. Now the key, as I mentioned earlier here, is around service learning, and which we think of as basically education through a partnership between universities and the community. And the Good Practice Guide showcases how sustainability can be embedded within the curriculum. And we did this by using funding across the 12 universities to explore different approaches for sustainability-based service learning, and it really, it involves quite a wide range of different approaches, and the Good Practice Guide highlights that. And then perhaps the highlight of the whole project was a multi-university challenge day, which brought together students from all of the institutions, and they collaborated to address a challenge that had been set by the Climate Commission. So from my perspective, the Good Practice Guide showcases ways in which students can engage with sustainability, and we really very much hope that it will inspire other universities to embark on these sorts of projects. So can I just finish by saying, thank you to staff and students across all 12 universities who've been involved in this project, and also, of course, thanks to our colleagues at Yorkshire Universities, and in particular to Monica, who has played an absolutely sterling role. And that is an appropriate point at which to hand over to Monica, who's just going to talk us through the Good Practice Guide.
Thank you, Dave, for that introduction and for the welcome, and indeed welcome from me as well to everybody who's new and old to this project. It's a really great moment to be able to come together and celebrate the final outcome of our project together. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the guide and the structure and the highlighted areas, and talk you through our findings through those sections. Now, the guide, as Dave had alluded to it, is designed as a blueprint that can be used by other universities wishing to drive student engagement with sustainability. It is the culmination of a £20,000 UEP Foundation funded pilot project, in which we set out to explore and better understand the extent to which sustainability is embedded in the curricula and how students are engaging with sustainability through service learning across the 12 members of Yorkshire universities. So why sustainability service learning? We aligned our project priorities to the goals on developing green and sustainable civic universities as set out in the UPP Foundation strategy and Student Futures Manifesto. Therefore, piloting environmental service learning directly responded to and helped deliver on the goals in the manifesto. Now, in our approach, first we set out to examine the definition of service learning, which is a pedagogy that integrates academically purposeful activity with the wider human or community need. In this instance, in our project, we mapped out how our member universities were providing educational opportunities, as Dave mentioned, for students to use their skills and their knowledge on solving genuine sustainability issues in the region through collaborative partnerships between the universities and the communities they serve. Our findings show that this can manifest itself in many ways and under many names. In this slide, we pulled out some of the principles and the prominent themes within the perspectives and approaches to service learning that we uncovered across the 12 institutions. And it might be a useful reminder to say that among our membership, we have a very, very diverse set of institutions ranging from different sizes and shapes and missions. And they all have an approach to it, and there are commonalities across the thinking. In the report, you will find key insight boxes that are in these blue boxes for you, in which we try to really highlight and hone in on the experience that we found and that are common across the institutions. In this case, service learning. It connects really different facets of the higher education systems. It's an interest to students, to academics, to directors of sustainability, to service staff, to communication staff, external engagement, strategic partnerships, digital education, enterprise leads. So because it's connected to sustainability as well as employability, it really ranges across the different colleagues and staff who we've been able to mobilize and engage in this work. And as I said, it does manifest itself in different ways, and it is referred to sometimes as community engaged learning, sometimes as work-related or experiential learning or practical learning. But in all situations, a student has the opportunity to contribute to solving a genuine need. Now, in the project, we looked at existing activity and examples of good practice in the first phase of approaching it, and we concluded that there is a significant dedication to sustainability across all 12 member institutions. And I mentioned that it's a very diverse set of institutions. And this is demonstrated in their curriculum approaches. The audit has revealed that this approach includes alignment with the UN Sustainable Development Goals in university strategies for subject disciplines, implementation of education for sustainable development frameworks, carbon literacy training, student-led conferences, and community engaged projects. So on this slide, I just outlined what you'll find in the report, and you'll be able to explore it and read about it at your own pace. But it's just to illustrate that across the 12 institutions, there is existing really good practice that we can learn from, showcase, and build on. Now, here's I would like to move on to the exciting new part that we were able to deliver on through this project, because we were able to allocate £1,000 of funding to each of the 12 member institutions towards boosting sustainable service learning related activity. And we wanted to see where it would add most value and where it would enable to do something really novel that would not have been possible without this funding. And this was used across 5 broad areas for challenge activities, creating a student sustainability society, employing student interns and employing students as interns or through employment, producing resources, materials, and insights together for the university or with the university, and fieldwork projects. Encouragingly, the institutions reported that even a small amount of seed funding made a considerable positive difference, and it illustrated that even small investment can yield significant outcomes, especially for the students involved. Now, the community partners who were involved and benefited from the diverse range of student perspectives, and the funding meant that we could engage with a really wide range of students who otherwise would not have been involved in sustainability activities. And the funding also enabled to create resources and insights that staff would not have otherwise had the time or necessary expertise to do. Now, the real new activity, one for us at Yorkshire Universities, was running a multi-university challenge day that Dave had alluded to. We've never done anything like this. We were able to bring together students from across the 12 institutions who all went through a pre-selection activity or phase. And we ranged from undergraduates to postgraduates, studying a really wide range and diverse subject matter. And we were able to bring them together with the Climate Commission, and set them a challenge to solve in one day in groups, very mixed groups, and come up with a response to that. And the challenge that we set themselves on how to engage more students with sustainability while they are at university directly corresponded to one of the goals and priorities of the Regional Climate Action Plan. And for doing this, students received a certificate of achievement that they contributed to progressing that activity towards delivering on the climate action plan. And they were also engaged in a skills task at the end, where they could articulate and talk about the skills related to sustainability that they used during the day, or they didn't, or they felt easy or challenging to talk about. So, and those who won the proposal, whose proposal was the winning one, got invited to the annual Student Sustainability Research Conference, which colleagues are going to refer to after my presentation. Now, what works? The guide showcases our learning at a regional level, and when engaging students in sustainability through service learning, here are the following main what works themes that are emerging. That is collaboration with external partners to embed positive impact beyond the university. At Leeds Beckett University, a collaboration between a Yorkshire-based business, Green Building Renewables, who are going to talk to us later, and hosted a sustainability challenge, and which led to really positive feedback from both students and participants, and it strengthened the university's business engagement in the region. Amplifying the student voice and student engagement in the curriculum. For example, at the University of Hull, students from a range of disciplines have mapped their curricula against the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the university's values and pillars. Student and staff have worked together to develop ideas to progress embedding sustainability into teaching and learning, to ensure that all students at the university were equipped with skills to lead on sustainability. Presenting opportunities that have a clear link to employment and employability skills for students was a really, really important area for us to keep in the forefront. And in this respect, just to give you an example, at Leeds Arts University, who have partnered with Sustainable Arts in Leeds, developed a program of activities, including carbon literacy training and student placements, to give students valuable work experience and enhance their employment prospects. The other emerging what works themes around providing authentic opportunities to address real life challenges, and I have referred to some of the challenges that universities chose to host. At Leeds Trinity University, they host an annual professional challenge, for instance, which is a group project led by regional organizations like the City Council, and who bring together small multidisciplinary groups to research and develop innovative solutions, enhancing the students' understanding of sustainability while really honing their employability, consultancy, and teamwork skills. Last one is around developing student personal experiences. And this was highlighted really through the World Environment Day at the University of Bradford's example, where a sip and paint poster competition in a very relaxed and creative environment enables students to develop posters related to the development goals, which they felt most passionate about, and they were given prizes for the most impactful and engaging entries. And the feedback we got from the university, and I hope you will read it in more detail in the guide as well, the mental well-being element of this activity, of giving the space and time to do so, has meant so much for both staff and students. And we were really we were really pleased to hear about how that activity got structured. Now, these activities that I mentioned are have given us insight into the challenges for implementing sustainability service learning, and we categorize these challenges and key learning points as well into the 8 areas of activity that you see listed on the slide. And I'm not going to go through all of them. This remains for you to read through at your own pace and at your leisure. And I really hope you can pick out some key learnings and about how a small amount of funding can help achieve positive impact, even though that does not mean it doesn't mean that sustainability initiatives should be regarded as a quick fix, but it gives students the opportunity to have insight into the world, into solving real world challenges. It also reflects on findings, for instance, that some of these activities related to service learning shouldn't be scheduled at times when students are overwhelmed with exams and project deadlines. It should be carefully sculpted so it meets that timeline of the academic year, so that you can maximize engagement and reach among the students. And ongoing activities such as developing student societies may take time to bed in and need to form part of an institution's long-term vision for sustainability. Just to reflect on some of the conclusions, through this project, we confirm that there is significant value for universities in working in partnership to address sustainability challenges through service learning. We also discovered that community partners benefit from a diverse range of student perspectives in tackling sustainability challenges. And the resources and activities delivered through this project have helped to build capacity for engagement with sustainability among students and staff. And we have used the lessons that we've learned through this project in this guide, which is intended for other universities who may be at the start of their journey or would like to tweak their existing offer. and are considering engaging with sustainability through service learning. So I hope you find our findings exciting, and but it would be great to hear from those who are directly involved in some of these activities, just so it's not just me speaking.
Terrific, Monica. Thank you very much indeed. That's really very helpful indeed. So what we're going to do now is to move on to some of reflections and testimonies from project partners and students who've been involved in the project activities. And I think we're going to start off with a video from the Multi-University Challenge Day.
The challenge today has been really fun. It was nice to sort of get in a room with very different people and sort of bring our different mindsets together.
This training has actually opened my eyes to how you could narrow down, an idea, refine it, couch it, and then make it presentable. So it's, sometimes we're always scattered about what we want to do like a lot, but then you can do a lot and then do nothing. But through this training, it's easier to now narrow down what your ideas are, refine them into what you want, and then watch them just project into life. So training has been really, really insightful. I've learned a lot today and I'm going back with a lot.
Having to work with people who I don't know, complete strangers who I literally met this morning, and working together. Yes, there was moments of clashing and there was frustration, but it was being able to work through that and collaborate with that and be critical within a constructive setting.
So today's been awesome working together. I think the most important thing has been communication, and also as well for us has been eliminating some of the great ideas we had. We had so many ideas that we had to chop a few down and rebuild, but in the end we got there and we managed to get a video out of it as well, so it's all been awesome.
Solutions need to be more designed systemically, holistically, and also strategically, looking into using foresight as well. So I think the session was really a good holistic use of a lot of different innovative methodologies, and I think that I got a lot of key takeaways from this session.
It's one thing to sort of do the research and write things down, and it's another to get up in front of people and talk about it and share your ideas. So I think it's just made me more confident in what I do know, and also I have learned more just from talking to other people.
Definitely, it will be really helpful for my future career, and I hope it will be great in my CV also.
During our presentation, we found that we had each and everybody's ideas in the final presentation, and that was exceptional.
I've learned a lot, and more than anything, I think it's just how many amazing ideas there are there. I've interacted with students from various universities, and I'm so amazed that, what can be done, all the wonderful ideas that are out there, innovative ideas, things that I never thought of. And I think now I'm going back to my uni, to our sustainability society, and there's a lot to actually do. There's a lot to impact, there's a lot to actually make these things better.
I think it's like teamwork is really important, and how you decide within your team and collaboration. Yeah, and we didn't expect we would be the first one.
From people from different disciplines, it was very interesting to get lots of perspectives, because sometimes I can get very narrow-minded from a environmental communications perspective, but it was interesting to it's good to incorporate those different perspectives within one narrow focus as well.
I think it's easy to focus on one thing, but when you've got other people in the room talking to you and listening to other people's views, it reminds you that there are so many different aspects that you need to consider when you're working towards sustainability. So I definitely think collaborative projects like this are really important to remind people of that.
When it comes to climate, your mind opens open. The more information you learn, you get fed with, and the more things you learn, your mind just opens up and opens up. I think today we've all literally took on how to deal with situations and use great green and friendly actions to get results and work together.
It was fun. It was nice to do something completely different and not sit in a seminar setting, and also feels like this could lead to something. This could be put on again. This could, our work today could go on to something else. So I'm feeling empowered.
Oh, fantastic! That was really cool. Thank you. So I think now we're moving on to Claire Jackson, who's from the University of Leeds, who's going to share their experience of being involved in the project. And I think bring in some students too. So over to you, Claire.
Yeah, I'm Claire Jackson. I work in the Sustainability Service at the University of Leeds, and I'm also the project manager for our Sustainable Curriculum programme. And as Dave said, I'm delighted to be joined by two students who helped support our engagement in the UPP project. So Raoul Thenner and Barocca Yavor will be sharing some highlights about how we engaged in the project, and importantly how it kind of strengthened our internal partnerships and also threaded student engagement throughout that process. At the University of Leeds, we launched our climate plan in 2022, which set out our commitments to 2030. So that includes reducing our emissions, but importantly, how we're engaging with city partners, and also our sustainable curriculum principle. And it's through this principle that we want to expand upon the opportunities for our students and the ways in which they can participate and engage in sustainability, recognising the benefits that this offers in terms of their academic experience, their future careers, and also their contribution to the world. It's through this strand of work that we engage in the UPP project, and it was perfectly timed to build upon the multi-university partnership approach we developed for our Student Sustainability Research Conference. This is a showcase of regional sustainability talent. Last year we were nominated for a Green Gown Award for this event, and the partnership working across the Yorkshire region was very much underpins it and was really a contributing factor in securing that nomination. Last year we had 102 student contributions on the day, and what the UPP project enabled us to do was kind of strengthen the collaborations across the universities, and we saw not only the winners of the multi-university challenge, but other collaborations came forward as a result of people meeting on that day, which was really inspiring and just lovely to see. The opportunity to share learning across institutions as a result of the UPP project has been fantastic. It's enriched our own approaches and it's been really inspiring. From the University of Leeds, we were able to share the work that we'd done on our Leeds skills matrix. Within that, it's built of 5 core domains, which include sustainability skills as one of those 5 domains. And we're actively kind of working with programs to kind of look at opportunities to embed that into our offer, our educational offer, but also student opportunities too. We also shared our student engagement approach, which includes our Student Sustainability Architect initiative, which offers paid part-time roles for students to undertake mini projects aligned to sustainability projects, campaigns, commitments. And then also within the Good Practice Guide is our Living Lab programme as well. I think so. This morning I was at our internal sustainability celebration event, and partnership and collaboration were kind of consistently the key threads that were coming out of all of the contributions to that. And if you build co-design with students into that, then it's even more impactful, and pulling that together into a multi-university format even more so. And just looking back at that video, just being reminded of the energy in the room on that day, it was just phenomenal, and it was just a joy to witness, and I think it kind of stayed with many of us for a long time afterwards. So yes, congratulations for Monica for coordinating that event. It was great to be a part of that. So I'm now going to hand over to Barocca Yavor and Raoul Thenner, who are going to share some insights on a collaborative project that we did with a group called Centre, which within the University of Leeds is a distributed leadership model for bringing together multiple departments and representatives, all with a focus on community engaged learning, and looking at how we can develop and enhance and promote our approach to this through our student education, research and public engagement opportunities. So I'll hand over to Raoul and Barocca.
Thank you, Claire. Hi, everybody. I'm Barocca, one of the student interns who have been involved in this Yorkshire University's pilot project, the institutional part at the University of Leeds. Thank you very much for having us. I think we really appreciate this opportunity to share our experience and also hear from others. So the two of us have been working with the Centre Community Engagement Network for about a year, and we were very excited to be involved in this project as part of our role. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who worked with us and supported us, especially Claire Jackson and our colleagues from the center, whoever is here who was able to come today. I think what this funding helped us achieve was gain an understanding of students' attitudes to and experiences of community engaged learning or service learning and their incorporated, embedded understanding of sustainability in the context of our own institution at the University of Leeds. We felt that it would be beneficial to hear from University of Leeds students as experts in what they have seen and what they would like to see, and also to recompense them for sharing their expertise. So that has been very helpful, being able to do that. And we gathered really valuable input and ideas for planning the future of student engagement with sustainability in service learning from students who are passionate about sustainability and social justice. We have run 3 kinds of activities: a survey, a discussion with student sustainability architects, and a focus group. The emerging skills highlighted by student participants that we can share here are mostly about the benefits of sustainability-related service learning to students. A realization that we have heard about a lot was how service learning or community engagement learning are important pathways for students to acquire a sustainability mindset that would be important in any industry at the workplace in their future careers. They have also mentioned other employability skills in leadership, teamwork, or equality, diversity, and inclusion. And we hope that engaging with these activities provided students with an opportunity to reflect on their community engagement experiences and their understanding of sustainability in the local context that we wanted to promote. And now I will hand it over to Raul.
Well, my name is Raul. Thank you very much, Baroka. As Baroka mentioned, I'm the other student intern from the center. And as you all may already know, these kind of activities always have many perspectives that we all like to share. So my turn is to talk to you about 2 specific spheres that kind of label it in that way. So to begin with, on this side of the picture, what skills would be necessary to use to develop and work with when we are looking to involve students in these kinds of activities related to sustainability, service learning. And just to share a couple of skills that we notice it's important to have this in these activities. It's just like student engagement. It's not as easy as it sounds, as you already know. You have to know the when and the how to engage with many different students. As you know, every student is a different world. So that is a really important skill to use. Also, another thing that it's important, it's the embedment of attractive incentives. It's really knowledgeable how valuable is the time of everyone and also for the students. So to use and to employ attractive incentives and also link these kind of activities to a practical way into the coursework of the students, it's also a fundamental skills to put in practice in these kind of activities. But in the other side also of complementing this side into the student engagement, we have also internal collaborations, because this is not a one student project. This is a multi-stakeholders project, as Baroque and also it has been mentioned before. So a couple of skills that we also acknowledge that are really important to develop is event organization, presentation skills. But basically, I would say like the capability to explore when it comes to service learning and community engagement connections, because that's the best way that you can put in practice and embed all the objectives into one or different activities. I will just wrap up by saying in a nutshell that one key element would be adaptability, because all of these skills that have been previously mentioned, we already practice those. And I think that every activity, every scenario is always variable. So adaptability is a really useful skill to help the students being engaged with this kind of activities. So in my case, that will be all. And again, like Roca said, thank you very much to everyone who allow us to be part of this project.
Fab, thank you very much indeed from both of you and to Claire. Really very valuable insight as well. And I just couldn't agree more about the importance of adaptability. Absolutely crucial. Thank you. So I think we now move on to another video, and that's from Hannah Wyatt, who's a student here at the University of Hull, who's going to share her journey and learnings with us.
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah and I've just finished my physical geography degree at the University of Hull. Going into my third year, I was very conflicted about what career I wanted to go into, and I was quite worried about finding a job and how to go about this. In November 2023, my friend asked me if I wanted to attend this climate cafe event at the university, and I thought, oh, I might as well go. And this was a competition to do a sustainability idea to improve something in the university. Me and my friend submitted our idea called Club Cycle, and we actually won this competition. And this meant that we could go to the Multi-University Challenge Day. The fact that we won this event was extremely motivating for us, as we thought we weren't the type to win anything, and the fact that we did just really boosted our confidence. We then had the opportunity to attend the Multi-University Challenge Day, and when we got there, I wasn't too sure what to expect. They split us up into groups, and we were tasked with creating and brainstorming an idea. And within my team, we came to the creation of EcoSprint, which is an initiative aimed at educating students about the carbon footprint of their food choices and fostering sustainability habits. Our team also won the challenge day, which was another confidence boost for me, and overall this day was truly a turning point for me. It confirmed my ideas were valid and that I was listened to. I gained confidence in myself, and I felt secure knowing that sustainability was the career I wanted to pursue. After the Multi-University Challenge Day, I dedicated quite a lot of time to looking into what a sustainability career is and what jobs were out there. After some time and some setbacks, I managed to find myself in an interview with an electricity consultancy, and after a few weeks of the interview I managed to get the job, and so now I have a job lined up as a sustainability coordinator in September. I am sure that without these opportunities I would not have had the confidence and specific skills to get a job as quickly as I did. This event also gave me the confidence to reach out to Yorkshire universities about having a placement with them as part of my university degree. So as part of this placement, I also attended the Student Sustainability Research Conference in 2024 with some of my fellow teammates from the Multi-University Challenge Day. My team and I led an interactive workshop based on our previous idea of EcoSprint, and overall my experience was extremely motivating. In particular, it was inspiring to see how many people attended our workshop. I couldn't believe it, to be honest. And the level of engagement and collaboration involved was truly inspiring. So many aspects of this event have benefited my development, especially my confidence when it comes to public speaking and engaging with an audience, as well as managing multiple tasks and collaborating effectively within a team of people I didn't previously know. Events like these are crucial for students to highlight and embrace. They offer invaluable opportunities to develop skills, expand networks, and collaborate with peers from diverse backgrounds. For me, this has helped me personally and professionally, as I've now lined myself up with a new career, and it's also boosted my confidence in so many ways. Additionally, something I didn't expect to learn was the value of working alongside students from various universities. This aspect has broadened my perspective, challenged my assumptions, and built new friendships. Bringing students together to address sustainability challenges on a regional level is particularly important, as it encourages us to expand our thinking outside of our own university context, which is something that I have learned along this experience. Looking ahead, I think that the collaboration of students from across Yorkshire and even the UK should be forced and encouraged more, as well as the importance of these events and activities to help students gain that professional skill and personal development. Overall, I'm extremely grateful that I had the opportunity to attend all these events and what they've opened up for me, as I now have a new path as a sustainability coordinator.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed, Hannah, and congratulations on your new role. I hope it goes really very well indeed. So next we're going to move on to hearing from some of the external beneficiaries of the project. So I think we're going to start with Rosa Foster, who's from the Yorkshire and Humber Climate Commission. Rosa.
Yeah, hi everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm in the same room as Monica, sat in Leeds Station. So yeah, really this initiative led by Yorkshire Universities with partners was hugely welcomed by the Yorkshire and Humber Climate Commission. Young people are future after all and have an enormous role to play. One of my main observations about I guess, conferences and events that I go to, so increasingly we're bringing young people into those conversations, and the Commission helps with that a bit. But where that does happen, it completely changes the tenor and focus of the discussion. It just automatically, the presence of younger people in the room brings a sort of a sense of focus and determination to everybody, and a level of honesty that's sometimes otherwise missing, in all honesty. So yeah, I think this work is hugely important. So Monica mentioned in her summary that there's sections in the Climate Action Plan about advancing education and engagement, and the need to integrate climate and nature into the curriculum in schools, colleges and universities. And ultimately what we're looking for is that every school leaver, college or uni graduate in the region has a solid understanding of the causes and consequences of our actions in the context of climate change, and critically also then the confidence and ability to challenge the status quo and establish norms when they go into their workplaces, to help bring in the changes that we need to see. So it's going to take all kinds of efforts in every career path as well. So ultimately, we also want to see the transition of all career pathways in towards the low carbon, climate resilient and nature ready nature positive economy. So yeah, really it's about building awareness and equipping students with an understanding of what they can do to respond to the climate crisis, and giving them a mechanism to do that. So we heard that in the testimonies there, how wonderful this initiative was at giving young people a platform to feel valid and listened to. And it's clear to me that the appetite for this is absolutely huge. The Sustainability 2024 conference hosted at the University of Leeds was incredibly well attended. And yeah, it could be even bigger, right? There's so much appetite for this. And the demand in the workplaces is also really growing, because young people want to work where there are sustainability roles or where they're going to be able to do this kind of thing. So yeah, I've got a real push-pull going on, and it's brilliant to see Yorkshire universities working together across all 12 universities to help fill the supply side of that triangle. So it's really a fantastic initiative. Thank you.
Wonderful, Rosa. Thank you very much indeed. Really helpful insight. Next, we move on to Ryan Lewis, who's from Green Building Renewables. Ryan.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Ryan Lewis. I am the Business Development and Communications Manager at Green Building Renewables, which are a York headquartered renewable installation company doing solar PV, ground source, air source heat pumps, EV charging. Based headquartered in York, but now sort of 15 regional offices all across the UK. We got involved with the Leeds University Sustainability Challenge, and it was like the other ones mentioned earlier, a sort of one-day event where we came in and we set a challenge for the students that had sort of signed up for the day. The event, the challenge we set was actually around a kind of a marketing comms challenge, mainly because one, that's my own background, and two, it was the most practical thing I think on the day for the people involved, as opposed to maybe setting something about sort of less tangible. It was really well attended, and genuinely it was a really inspiring day. From our point of view, like many companies, we have distinct challenges when it comes around sustainability and wider things. In the industry we're working in, generally, there's a real skills shortage. That is a sort of challenge that anyone who kind of has heard or talks about sort of the renewable sort of sector in the UK, or anything to do with decarbonisation and sort of sustainability in general. There's a whole wave of people who are kind of on the way out when it comes to things like what we, sort of traditional sort of electricians, plumbers and stuff. And as an industry, with the expectations of what is needed in terms of installations around the country, there is a massive skill shortage. Similarly, in our industry, there is, it's traditionally a very male-dominated industry. It's lacking diversity, and I think for us to do the event, the beautiful thing about universities, especially when it comes to something like talking about sustainability, is that they are mini ecosystems of the planet when it comes to people. They're extremely diverse places, far more diverse than the average kind of UK working place. And that was really shown on the day when we did the challenge. There were students from international students and sort of UK based students, and as a consequence it brought together really deep thinking and really unique ideas that were presented on the day. The students went away in the morning, the challenge was set, they came back in the afternoon, we sat through the presentations, and they were remarkable. I mean, two groups in particular stood out, and it was a really close call between them. But one group was picked for the sort of ideas that they had came up with, some of which we've kind of replicated a little bit into our comms and marketing. Further than that, we were able to sort of offer a couple of the people who had won in the winning team placements within our offices, and we almost got two lined up, but one very fortunately got a job. But we took on another girl, Anna, who stayed with us for like sort of 6 weeks through the summer period, and she came up. We set her some tasks, and she did some more work for us during that period, a paid internship, and again came up with some sort of fabulous ideas that we've kind of rolled out. In some woman in particular was actually a piece of work for when we do installations for schools. She sort of created a pack sort of that is for the school to kind of put up posters, say, we're sort of solar powered school. It was stunning. The actual piece of work, the level that she created was fantastic. So all in all, it was a really rewarding experience as a company who works in this area, who faces the challenges ahead, and to know that there's so many sort of sustainability literate students out there, or students that have the desire to become sustainably literate, and sort of show the sort of positive deviancy that's kind of needed across industry for when it comes to sort of sustainable thinking. So it was a really good experience for us.
Brilliant, Ryan. Thank you so much, and indeed that's extremely useful and really interesting. I mean, it's great to hear that it's been a success for you as a company too. And now we move on to Richard Brabner, who's from the UPP Foundation. And Richard, just before you start, can I say again, thank you very much indeed to the UPP Foundation for your support for a really fantastic project.
Brilliant, thank you, Dave. And we're absolutely delighted and thrilled to be part of this project and to have the opportunity to support it, to both Peter and Monica when they submitted the proposal a couple of years ago. So for those of you who don't know who we are, we're UPP Foundation. We were set up in 2016 by a company called UPP. We're an independent charity in our own right, but we're what's known as a sort of corporate foundation. We're fully funded and obviously wouldn't exist without UPP. So what do we do? So we have sort of three roles. We're a funder, and since 2016 we've funded over 40 sort of small scale pilot initiatives, and our approach to funding is really to support innovative schemes of universities and charities that we hope can spark good practice within our grant recipient, but the sector itself, and be picked up by bigger funders perhaps afterwards. We also have a sort of thought leadership platform, perhaps what we're best known for in the HE world, running big initiatives and inquiries like the Civic University Commission and Student Futures Commission. And we also have a sort of formalised convening role where we bring the insights of the business into charities and vice versa, and try and support the development of them and grow civil society within HE too. So why this project, and why did it matter to us? Well, as I mentioned, couple of things that we're best known for. Firstly, the Civic University Agenda. We ran a big commission in 2018-19, led by the late great Lord Kerslake, on the role that universities play in their local communities. That had a huge impact, with over 70 universities developing the main recommendation from that piece of work. Where, I think it's fair to perhaps critique it internally was that we didn't focus enough on the environment and the role that universities can play in their local communities to support local net zero strategies and ambitions and other environmental issues such as biodiversity. And since then, we've partnered with organisations like the Civic University Network and the Institute of Community Studies, done a piece of work on the role that universities can play in their different geographies on that. And we've also developed a new strategy as a foundation to move that civic agenda around a focus on sustainability. So that was a key reason why we've funded this, and we've done other projects too. On Student Futures, that was an initiative looking at how can the student experience get back from the pandemic, really. And one of the key findings from that piece of work was the issue of belonging for students, particularly from those from less advantaged backgrounds, who are less likely to participate in what we might call an immersive university experience, have that extra or co-curricular opportunities which those that have a more residential or experience or are less likely to be working long hours doing a part-time job alongside their studies too, which we know, with the cost of living crisis is increasingly a concern. And so one of the key things is, how do you enable that sense of belonging? And part of that is integrating some of that extracurricular stuff into the curriculum, having a co-curricular approach to these activities which support the individual, support the university, and support the local place too. And a great example where we're inspired by is in Tulane University in New Orleans in the US, where after Hurricane Katrina, that university strategically completely changed their mission, and as part of that, every single undergraduate student does at least 40 hours of service learning as part of their degree that's credited each year. And so we think that's really valuable for two reasons. Firstly, it's a mission purpose orientated, from their point of view, solving an environmental crisis in their city, but for this point of view, having a purpose and mission to support the environment in your place, I think is really important and powerful and empowering, as we've heard from one of those videos. And the second is it's universal, and so it ensures that everybody, regardless of their mode of study or background, participates in this, which we think is really important. And I think one of the really important and powerful lessons from the toolkit that Monica has produced is that point around diversity, and the fact that you are through this project, they've enabled participation with students from different disciplinary backgrounds, different modes of learning, different and so on. And that diversity point, I think, is really critical. So, we're really pleased with this piece of work. Obviously, we're delighted to support Yorkshire universities and really warmly welcome the guide. We hope that it inspires best practice, not just across Yorkshire, but across the whole UK higher education sector. A couple of things to point out. I think the audit that you've done is absolutely fantastic, and really good to see so much good practice linked to the SDGs across your members. I know my colleague Kay, who I think is on this call, attended the multi-university day and was really struck by the quality of the ideas and the proposals. So it's great to see some of the impact of that in the meeting today. And finally, I just want to say that how important that piece on employability and employment is, and we've already heard from the recent graduate at Hull, and how she has transferred those skills into her career, which is really important, and something that we heard from that Student Futures Commission about the importance of experiential learning and employers is not just having that opportunity around employability and skills, but how does then the university enable that student to translate that into something meaningful in a career? And I think this is a sort of absolutely huge step in the right direction for that. So again, Dave, just to say massive thank you to the team, and brilliant piece of work, and we were delighted to be part of it.
Right, Richard, thank you very much indeed, and we've been delighted too. So I really appreciate your comments, and in particular your observations around employability, which I think are crucially important. Okay, so let me finish by just saying thank you again to everyone who's been involved. Obviously to UPP Foundation for supporting the project, for to all the staff and the students who have participated. You've been terrific. To our various stakeholders who've contributed so much and so richly to the project. And I do want to mention the Yorkshire and Humber Climate Commission in that it's been a really fruitful partnership. And finally, just to finish off by saying, thank you again to Monica, who has been really inspiring in her leadership of pulling this project together. Thank you so much, Monica, for all you've done. So fantastic. Thank you, everyone. It's been really great to hear from all those contributions, and I'm so pleased that you were able to join us today. And we shall look forward to continuing to work in partnership around these themes, and also in delivering the fantastic contents of the Good Practice Guide. So thank you very much indeed, and have a great evening.